Things are getting a bit interesting and even somewhat dire for some crazy Nintendo fans online when it comes to the supposed Nintendo Direct or not. But in today's video, we've got a lot of cool RPG and Nintendo Switch news to go over. So I first want to start off with Princess Peach Showtime. Apparently, this big first-party Nintendo Switch game will be using an engine that Nintendo rarely uses. So it's been revealed that Princess Peach Showtime could be using the Unreal Engine 4 for its game engine. Now, this is interesting because Nintendo doesn't use this engine very often. I think it was Yoshi's Crafted World, and I think there might have been another game or so, but for the most part, Nintendo does not use Unreal Engine much, but it does seem like this game might do that. Now, new findings, Nintendo Everything writes, points to Princess Peach Showtime using Unreal Engine. The game's Chinese display box has surfaced, which provides us with that information. The Unreal Engine logo is included on the back of the box. Now, you guys are seeing that right here. So yes, there's actually two games. I did say Yoshi's Crafted World, but also Pikmin 4 used Unreal Engine 4. So Nintendo's done it a couple of times, but recently, at least with Pikmin 4, that's a game that came out just last year, and Nintendo did use Unreal Engine 4. So it's very likely or possible that this game could also use Unreal Engine 4. And for the most part, when it comes to Unreal Engine 4 on the Nintendo Switch, it's not like it's incredible when it comes to its performance and its resolution and how everything is, but it's serviceable in terms of having a good engine with a lot of tools to be able to do what you need to do in the game and how you want the game to look graphically. So I think overall, this should look good, should be smooth, might not have the best resolution, but we'll have to wait and see for the Digital Foundry stuff and all that. But I think overall, it'll be a solid, stable game. Unreal Engine 4 works well with what Nintendo does with these certain types of games. So it should be fun to see exactly how everything plays out. Now, Nintendo has used a couple of other outside engines as well. We saw Unity for Fire Emblem Engage and Super Mario RPG, the remake. So this is something that's not necessarily too out of the ordinary, but it's something that at least you should point out when it does happen. Now, Princess Peach Showtime is dropping on March 22nd, 2024, and I'm very excited for the game personally. I think it's going to be a ton of fun. But you know what might not be a ton of fun for some fans, but be very interesting? It's the official Xbox Podcast Edition that's set for February 15th, which is apparently set on the same day as the rumored Nintendo Direct, which there could be a lot of stuff happening from that. We're going to tag team this article with another one when it comes to report with some games that could be coming to the Nintendo Switch. But let's first start off with this Xbox Official Podcast Special Edition. So Microsoft Gaming will host a special edition of the official Xbox Podcast on February 15th at 12 p.m. PT/3 p.m. ET/8 p.m. GMT, where it will share updates on the Xbox business. Now, this is with company CEO Phil Spencer, President Sarah Bond, and Head of Studios Matt Booty. The company announced you'll be able to watch it on YouTube, and I will be live streaming the show. So we'll be going live around probably about an hour early or so to talk about the Xbox podcast, to talk about the business, what Microsoft plans could be, and of course, what we could see at this show. So there will be an event in which Microsoft Gaming shares more details with you about our vision for the future of Xbox, as promised by Spencer last week on Twitter, I think it was. The event comes after the recent rumors that several high-profile Xbox first-party games are coming to rival platforms. Now, we do have an update to this, and which is what I wanted to tag team this article and kind of wait a little bit. The Verge is also reporting, they have sources that Microsoft has plans to launch a number of select games on other platforms. Now, the PlayStation 5 and Switch, these are included. The first two games are Hi-Fi Rush and Pentiment, with Sea of Thieves planned later the year and other first-party titles also under consideration. So this is something that we've seen before. It's the first time that I've heard of Pentiment. That game, it's kind of like a talking type of game set back in the day or something. I haven't played it too much, but people really like it. I know Nate the Hate loved it, and it got really high review scores. But Hi-Fi Rush is a game that we've heard about before, potentially coming over to PlayStation or the Nintendo Switch. So it seems like it could be coming to both of them. But of course, we have to wait and see for the official word from Microsoft. Sea of Thieves is a game that's also been reported before, but The Verge also says that they have sources that these games are coming. So we'll find out pretty soon here on February 15th what is going down, so you guys can let me know what you think about that. Now, moving on to some sales news, we've got some awesome information for Granblue Fantasy Relink fans, as the game has already topped 1 million units. That's shipments and digital sales. So everything all combined, the company has sold 1 million units out to retailers and their in-stores, and of course digitally downloaded. You've got Steam, PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5. Worldwide in 11 days, publisher Cygames and developer Cygames Osaka has announced Granblue Fantasy Relink launched for the PS4, PS5, PC via Steam on February 1st. I have the game myself. I bought it on PC and it's fantastic. I just don't have a ton of time to play it. Now, the one thing that I'll say about this, the better this game does, the more I think it has to expand. 1 million units in 11 days is fantastic for an action RPG like this. However, the game did take around 7 years plus to make, so they definitely want to have a big ROI or return on investment when it comes to this game. What I like about it selling 1 million plus is that it shows that there is a stable backing of income coming in, and I hope that the sales continue, because I think that they're probably considering a Nintendo Switch 2 launch as well, or even Xbox, right? I mean, you get a game that sells 1 million plus. It's not like they have some type of big exclusivity deal or anything with Sony. I think that this 1 million is very good, and you can expand that even further if you have a Nintendo Switch 2 version, and whatever you can do, maybe if you want to put it on Xbox. But I think that a Nintendo Switch 2 version later in the year or next year at some point would be huge for this type of game and would do really well when it comes down to it. Action RPGs do well on Nintendo platforms, so I think that this is all good. This is everything you'd want to see for this type of game, especially since it took so long to develop. But yes, a big ROI is probably what they're looking for, and I think that the Nintendo Switch 2, along with the continued good word, positive momentum on PlayStation and PC, is going to continue to make this game sell. The thing that's interesting about this is that on PC, it's hit some pretty good numbers, over 100,000 concurrent players, all sorts of stuff. People weren't really expecting that, but yeah, Granblue is a popular franchise. It's something that's been around for a bit. It's really more in the mobile sector, but they're finally moving in with the fighting game that came out, and then the relaunch of the fighting game that came out, and now at this point, and I think that this is the first steps to kind of getting more for multi-platform development, but also getting funds filtered in so they can continue to make this franchise flourish. So this is definitely good stuff all around, and I'm happy. I just need to find some time to play more of the game. I think I put about 2 or 3 hours in so far, and I like it. I think that it's very good. It's smooth on PC. Graphics look great. Love the art style. Love the voice acting. Everything's really solid in this game. So I'm very happy that they've already been able to move 1 million units, and I hope that they continue to move a lot more in the future. Now let's talk about something that is on the Nintendo Switch in addition to other platforms that just dropped, and that's the Tomb Raider 1 through 3 Remastered collection here. And I like this because it's got some pretty good tech specs across the board. If you're looking to see if this is one of those lazy ports that we saw like from Grand Theft Auto, no, that is not the case. This is solid, but there's one thing that's missing, and we'll talk about that at the end. So Digital Foundry recently had a analysis covering Tomb Raider 1 through 3 Remastered, starring Lara Croft, which covers aspects of the game like frame rate, resolution, and I wanted to go over it. Now, Asper did the job here, and they said that it's a pretty phenomenal job that they've done. So right here, this is the rundown of what you can expect in this game. You can swap between the original and remastered graphics in real time. You have crisp textures used in the remaster, additional 3D assets implemented, high-resolution versions of the game's menus and video clips available. The team recreated the main menus for each of the 3 games. You have modern, baked lighting used in the levels. Now, in some cases, areas that were overly and unrealistically lit in the original games now appear darker, which can make it more difficult to navigate, which is not necessarily great. But the draw distance has been expanded, that's good, and more detailed character models. You've got facial animations used, you've got a clean 1080p resolution when docked on the Nintendo Switch, you've got the newer versions running at 60 frames per second, which was obviously, if you played the originals, yeah, it definitely was nowhere near 60 frames per second. Now, the native resolution in handheld or portable mode is 720p, so the max native resolution there, not a single frame rate hiccup. That is the thing that everyone's looking for, right? Especially with these remasters or these games that come over from older systems. We've seen awesome stuff and we've seen bad things before, even if it's an older game on a way stronger system. But this is really good to hear on the Nintendo Switch. There's not a single frame rate hiccup, and classic mode is capped at 30 frames per second and has misplaced frames. So the thing about it is, if you play it in the classic mode, you're going to have some of those issues that you did before, but you played it in the new one, you're all good. Not a single frame rate hiccup. So very good to hear about this. Now, the one thing that I said that was missing that I feel that's very important here is the fact that there is no physical edition of this game right now. That would be the only thing that would cap off this incredible package. This is Tomb Raider. Tomb Raider is a classic franchise. It was originally on the PS1. Yes, you have the disc and all that, and I understand that they're small, maybe the budget wasn't there, but this is the type of game that you absolutely want to have on a cartridge or you want to have on a disc, because that's what it was originally. It's a classic game. It's not a digital download. It's not like this game started in the 7th generation or something. It started originally. So it would have been awesome if there was a physical Nintendo Switch cartridge. Imagine some of the best, if not best, Tomb Raider games all on one cartridge on the Nintendo Switch or one disc on the PlayStation. That is iconic. They have missed an opportunity right now. Now, that doesn't mean that this won't happen in the future. I think that Limited Run or some other place, I Am 8-Bit or some other place will pick this up. I'm not sure where it will be, or I'm not sure who's going to do it, but somebody's got to pick this up, because it's a travesty that this type of classic remastered collection doesn't get its own physical edition. To me, all classic games coming back, yes, you can do digital and that's fantastic, but there needs to be physical editions of these classics, because that's just what is right, in my opinion. It's natural. So I'm hoping that comes later, and when that does, I will definitely pick it up once we get that physical. But overall, very happy with what Asper has here. The controls, everything's been upgraded. I'm not a huge fan of the original Tomb Raiders on the PS1. I think they play blocky and clunky, especially in comparison to other games like Mario 64 that I was playing at that time. But I think I'll definitely check out this, as everything's been upgraded and the game can really shine in terms of its original type of style that they wanted to go for, but maybe had some limitations here and there. So very excited about potentially getting a physical, and of course seeing more of Tomb Raider 1 through 3 remastered. Now, for the final topic here, guys, we're gonna go over another game that's coming very soon, or at least a little bit of a side game here, and it's called Splatoon 3 Side Order, the DLC. We've got details revealed about this and an overview trailer and a little secret here that I will talk about, more like a tease that I'll talk to you guys about. So Nintendo just issued new rounds of information and details when it comes to Splatoon 3 Side Order, and we also have some new footage as well. So here is the information from Nintendo. In Side Order, you play as Agent 8, a resident of Inkopolis who wakes up in a new world of order where the color spectrum goes from white to a little less white to kind of gray to, well, that's pretty much it. What's an Octoling to do? Figure out how to bring a little color back into the picture. That's what. Alongside a drone who claims to be Off the Hook member Pearl, Agent 8 must battle to the top of the spire of order against hordes of surprising enemies and obstacles. On each floor of the spire, there are objectives that change each time you make an attempt, and they get harder and harder you climb. Objectives may include defeating enemies, securing specific areas for a set amount of time, and overcoming other skill testing challenges. Use the color chips you receive to customize your palette to your liking, with enhancements such as increased firing speed, raised damage output, and more. Fail to reach the top and you'll have to start over, but the color chips you collect will be converted into a currency that can be exchanged for some permanent and helpful upgrades. Those upgrades might just give you a fighting chance to reach the top next time around. This is designed to be replayed over and over as you update Agent 8 with powerful and colorful abilities. Side Order is a fun, challenging way to level up your Splatoon skills for newcomers and vets alike. Now, here's the thing about this, guys. I've potentially have some more information for you guys. I got a chance to maybe get a little bit more of this, and I'll definitely have that update for you guys very soon. But yes, it's like Hades and Splatoon mixed together here. That's what it looks like from here, maybe a bit more. So I'm very excited to talk about this later down the line. I'm going to be picking this up easily day one. The Splatoon 3 side order launches on February 22nd, so that's very soon here, next week as of the time that I record this video. So yeah, if you're into Hades, if you're into Splatoon, if you're into something like that where you can replay kind of like a rogue mode but with permanent upgrades, then this is for you. This makes Splatoon into an awesome single player type of experience. That's one of those things that's just unique in my opinion. They took something that people do all the time but then put it in the Splatoon world, and it feels, based off of what's here, just feels completely awesome in terms of the different styles and what you can do and the upgrades and everything. And I think that obviously they're not going to have any more single player content for Splatoon after this, as they move on to probably the next system and probably what they're going to do with Splatoon 4 or the next Splatoon game. But yeah, this is awesome. Love to see it. Very good overall. And I think people are going to be playing this for a very long time. So that's going to wrap it up for this video here, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I do appreciate it. Please make sure you hit that like button, subscribe if you're someone new, click that notification bell, and check out my other Nintendo Switch and RPG news videos right here on screen, or maybe something a little bit else like my Buy Now Before Rare series. Thank you so much for watching. We'll catch you guys for the next one. Peace.